Just that 1 second snapshot.
It was worth the wait. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will go on for 2020 with a reimagined celebration.
So joining us with the early details right now is Susan Tercero. She's the executive producer of Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Good morning to you, Susan. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So obviously this is just an institution in so many people's households, right? And people who like to line the streets. Why did you feel it was so important to put on the parade despite the current climate that we're in of this coronavirus world?
You know, I think now more than any time, we really have to find ways to come together, to give thanks, and to carry on all the traditions that everybody in this whole country is used to having. So I think that if we were to cancel it, I think that a lot of people would have been very disheartened by it. Also, how else are we going to bring Santa to everybody?
Exactly.
We can only do that through the parade, so that's what we're going to do this year.
Exactly. I mean, coronavirus is not going to stop Santa. Hello, that cannot be allowed. So how is this going to be reimagined, though? Because I know a lot of folks are thinking, okay, great, it's going to go on, but what's it going to look like?
Yeah.
You know, we really are going to be focusing on what the safest way to do this parade is to really try and just bring it to the broadcast, the televised broadcast. And so doing something live, having 3.5 million people line the streets, that's not what we're going to be able to do this year. We're also not going to be able to have the bands come in from out of town. You know, there's a lot of uncertainty with all the schools and the students across this country. And obviously, it's Macy's first priority is the safety of our participants and the general public. So when talking to these schools earlier on, we really determined everybody that was planning to come in from out of the tri-state area, we would be not asking them to come in this year. We're actually defer all those bands to 2021. And we took a look at everything that we were doing and saying, where can we minimize the number of people that are participating? Where can we minimize large groups?
Yeah, we understand that. So, but what's it going to look like? Are we going to see tape performances, live performances in different locations? Are we going to see the float? We heard something about the floats maybe on top of cars. Give us an idea of what's it going to look like.
Yeah, you're going to see the floats and the balloons like you normally would, but our large balloons, we're actually going to be, usually we have about 100 people underneath those balloons, but we're going to be a lot smaller because we're going to actually have vehicles. There's always a vehicle that centers in the middle of the balloon, but now we're going to replace the people with more of those very small utility vehicles in order to get the balloons down the street.
Okay.
So you'll see everything. You'll still see performances that'll be a mixture of tape and live.
Right.
Okay.
But the majority of the show will be live.
So let me ask you this then, because if you still have the balloons coming down the street, right, and you get rid of the handlers, people still want to come and see them, right? Because they line the route to see the balloons kind of make their way down the street.
Away.
So what exactly will the route look like? It's usually a 2.5 mile route. So what are you going to do with that?
Yeah, we're not going to be along that route. We're actually just going to be set up very close in the Herald Square area to Macy's, and that's traditionally where the parade crosses through cameras.
Right.
And so that's what we're going to be focusing on. It will be closed. It'll be closed to the public, so you won't be able to come out and see them as we normally do. But you know what? We're going to be committed to New Yorkers. We're still going to think of some fun and surprising ways to still bring this tradition to New Yorkers as well. But New Yorkers will have to enjoy it the way the rest of the country does, which is on television.
What about, you know, the big thing was always the night before, people coming to watch those balloons get inflated by Central Park. So how are you going to inflate those balloons, or really where are you going to do it? Are you going to transport them, or is it going to be all done right in front of Macy's?
It's going to be done in the area around Macy's. We are going to still inflate them. Well, we will have to do them in the streets like we do uptown. We just won't be uptown in our traditional places. And we won't, unfortunately, be able to allow everybody to come because typically that event sees about 1 million people. And that's just not safe for everybody right now. So the good news is that the balloons are still going to fly on Thanksgiving morning, and everyone will be able to enjoy them from the safety of their homes.
All right. It's going to be a little different, but we're still going to get that parade in. And I know a lot of folks really look forward to it every year. So
Santa.
Thank you. Yes, of course, and Santa.
That's the most important part. You're still going to see Santa.
Because every year in my house, it is a tradition. We wave at Santa on the TV.
On the TV.
And there he is.
Wave at him,
I mean, we wave he might have to quarantine for 14 days coming from the North Pole.
But it's not a virtual Santa. You're going to have the real Santa, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we always have the real Santa.
That's right.
He's going to be there. He's committed to coming to ring in the holiday season with Macy's.
That's
Susan, we appreciate you coming on to talk about this. You know, everybody's interested in what's happening, and you have a different task, because some parades are easy to do virtually. This one involves a lot. So we appreciate you making the time this morning.
Absolutely. It won't be virtual, so it will be, but it will be a different experience for everybody.
All right. Thank you so much.